James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Hello everyone, welcome, my name is Phoenix, and this is the Consumer's Guide to Video Games. Silent Hill 2. 2001, Konami. Silent Hill 2 is a survival horror game where the player takes control of James Sunderland. Receiving a letter that seemingly comes from his late wife Mary, the letter tells him that Mary is waiting for him in the town of Silent Hill. Compelled by a seemingly miraculous occurrence, James travels to the titular town, only to discover that something is deeply wrong with it. With no choice but to push forward, James must make his way through Silent Hill and try to find his beloved Mary. I played this game many years ago, but I had played the notably inferior HD collection remaster of it. Ugh. While I enjoyed it, I recognize now that it was not the optimal way to experience Silent Hill 2. So for the spoopy season, I had decided to install a mod for the PC version known as the Enhanced Edition. With this mod, a team of nerds, for funsies, went in and gave the game a touch-up, improving the graphics and audio and releasing it to the world for free. Having now played this game in its purest form, I was enamored with this classic of the genre. Being a 20-plus-year-old game, it's kind of hard not to ignore some of the old game clunk that comes with this territory. In Silent Hill 2, that clunk is mostly seen in the combat. While the shooting is perfectly fine, the fixed cameras kind of fuck you at points as they prevent you from seeing the enemy. Some may say that adds to the tension. I think it's just stupid and frustrating. Melee combat, though, is honestly kind of janky through and through. Like, no full stop. The animations are really stiff, and there isn't much to this melee combat aside from mashing a button until the things die. There isn't even a block button, so if you want to fight enemies, just be prepared to eat some, like, really avoidable L's. But aside from that, this game is a triumph in every other respect. Sticking with our topic of gameplay, I fell in love with the level design this time around. Each area you explore is centered around not only fighting enemies, but solving puzzles and riddles. What I love about the level design, in particular the puzzles, is how intuitive and easy to grasp they are. Anytime I struggled with these puzzles, it was because I was an unobservant caveman, as the solutions to all your puzzles are in the level. You just sort of gotta do some dicking about in the level and pay attention to your surroundings. While I am not a big fan of dicking about in a game, doing so will at least reward you with either supplies or things you need to progress. With separate difficulty settings for combat and puzzles, I played on normal for both and was challenged sufficiently. But the puzzles on hard are apparently like super cryptic and require like a keen eye and intuition to solve. In terms of art direction, the truly good Silent Hill games are known for their dark atmosphere. Each game covers the environment in a thick fog, and this serves two purposes. The first is the before-mentioned atmosphere. Making it so you can only see like a foot or two in front of you makes the environment feel alien, as if things were shifting and changing on you. They explicitly do in many levels, but what I'm talking about is merely a feeling that the environment has been altered. Hearing that radio go off and seeing the monstrosities of the town stumble out of the fog will get your heart racing. The second purpose that this fog serves is hiding draw distance. The fog is meant to hide things loading into the environment, allowing for a seamless visual experience. Mission accomplished in that regard, as this effect really helps keep the game timeless. The graphics for this game have been masterfully altered by this modding team. The Enhanced Edition doesn't alter things drastically, but does give character models and environments a slight touch-up, as I mentioned. While still obviously a PS2 game released at the start of its lifespan, this modding team helped show why Silent Hill 2 has stood the test of time. I'm sure seeing the cutscenes in this game was a mind-blowing experience back in like 2001, 2002, but even today they looked fucking beautiful. The in-game models retain their original look, but the textures are that little bit smoother, making it look better when rendering it at 1080p or even 4K. The environments have tons of detail to them, and when they shift into this nightmarish world, the grime and the rust gives it such a disgusting and unnerving look. The aspect that is most remembered about Silent Hill by people is the music. Composed by the great Akira Yamaoka, this is a composer that has such a unique style all his own, and encompasses so many genres in his compositions. The lighter music in this game ranges from light trip-hop beats to traditional piano music, sometimes combining the two. It aids in creating the dreamlike quality that these games have. But the stuff I love from him is the rock-oriented stuff. To begin, Laura's theme, the song you heard at the beginning of the video, is the banger to end all bangers. One of the best pieces of alternative rock music ever composed, quite honestly. Arranging that rock stuff with these soaring strings is nothing short of fucking breathtaking. I love that piece so fucking much. I sat down and learned it on guitar. I'm a drummer. And I learned it on guitar. Like, I'm a shitty fucking guitar player. That's how much I like this fucking piece. But the stuff I noticed this time around was Yamaoka's penchant for industrial music. Using that radio static, which is meant to signal the presence of enemies, Yamaoka will combine that with the rhythmic pounding of metal and these scraping tones. It's like I was listening to something by like Throbbing Gristle or Einstruss in Nobatzen or like Hunting Lodge. It made enemy encounters feel like this chaotic life or death thing. During the credits, we get this really heavy rock riff and steel sounding snare drum that legit sounds like something that would fit in on Nine Inch Nails' The Fragile. It went fucking hard as fuck. Silent Hill's writing and acting has always been a weird sort of thing. To the uninitiated, it can come off as wooden and stunted. But part of the dreamlike nature of Silent Hill is people acting in a bizarre manner. On a pure nuts and bolts level, the acting, I guess, isn't great. But for Silent Hill, it really works. Guy C's performance as James Sunderland is very charming, and however odd his delivery is, he still manages to communicate some really powerful emotions. Monica Horgan, though, is fantastic as Mary and Maria. Her performance as Maria was very interesting, and she really gets into that delirious, dreamlike way of communicating. But as Mary, man, just listen to her monologue at the end of the game, as she reads that full letter. Unironically, one of the most powerful fucking pieces of acting I have ever encountered in a video game. Potentially even just a piece of media. Like, it's so fucking good. The silly dialogue and its weird delivery in
Silent Hill 2
is counteracted by an incredibly powerful tale of grief and guilt. Now, I'm no lore expert on Silent Hill, so explaining what exactly the town isn't going to be what we're talking about here. In this particular game, the town of Silent Hill comes off as this malevolent entity that is feeding off these people's negative emotions, manifesting them as demons in the town. For James, Silent Hill is forcing him to confront an ugly, ugly truth. He killed his wife. Although, some might say he committed a mercy killing. As much as it comes across like James loved his wife, Mary's illness put a strain on that relationship, and James felt trapped. He tried, but he felt the only way out was killing her. And as sad as it's gonna sound, Mary wanted James to be free of this pain. It robbed them of so much, including adopting a daughter. What you're seeing throughout this game, these twisted monsters, is James processing years of repressed pain and trauma. By the end, it seems he came to terms with what he did, at least as much as you can come to terms with doing such a horrific thing. However, that is merely one of a few possible endings. See, this game has multiple outcomes, but they require you to do a bunch of weird stuff in the game in a specific amount of time. How anyone stumbled across the ending where the events of the game are orchestrated by a dog is beyond me. Those weird alternate endings, though, are part of why this game has such a great level of replayability. Along with higher difficulties, you could easily get lost in speedrunning this game and trying to uncover the secrets of Silent Hill. So yeah, now that I've had a proper experience with this game, I think I truly understand and appreciate why this game was the standard for so long in terms of survival horror. Hell, it might still be the standard, depending on who you talk to. While I prefer other survival horror games to it, I think Silent Hill 2 has earned its spot amongst the titans of this genre. Despite the game's age showing in its super rudimentary combat mechanics and fixed camera angles, the depth of the level design allows for tons of replayability, and the artistic direction of this game is above and beyond what games were doing in this era, and maybe any era. Rightfully belonging in the GOAT discussion, Silent Hill 2 is a gaming experience that few games can match or even surpass. And if you haven't played it, you owe this game at least one playthrough. Highly recommended. And I am feeling a 9 to a 9.5 out of 10 on this one. Maybe it's closer to a 9.5 than it is a 9. We'll see how that goes on the next playthrough. Catch you later, guys.